and a very special welcome to episode 26, our 1 year anniversary of the Board Crew. I'm your host, Ben, and I'm joined by...
Bronson. I don't know. you'd think by now I get it and had it now. I'm Bronson. Hi.
I'm Catherine, no nickname.
Well, now you got a nickname. Well, my nickname's Deke, but I feel like, I don't know, Dynamite. Call me Dynamite.
Your name's Daniel, your nickname's Deke. It's done.
Oh, boo.
And Tony, no nickname.
Awesome. And tonight we're going to be reviewing 5 games for our 1 year anniversary. I'm going to be reviewing Xia Legends of a Drift System.
I'm going to be reviewing the game that really kicked it off for me, that started it all. Bionicle, The Quest for Makuta.
I will be reviewing the very family-friendly Apples to Apples.
I will be reviewing Sagrada.
And I'll be reviewing Wingspan and all its expansions.
As a special part of the episode, we're going to be playing Don't Get Got while we're recording and inserting now our goals. So my goal is to get a player to say sugar.
Hey, it's Deke here. I have to sing a song slightly wrong and get another player to correct me. So I'm going to start singing whenever I see the opportunity and doing what I do best, singing terribly and getting the words wrong. Easy.
My Don't Get Got is to perform a magic trick and get a player to ask me how I did it.
Hey, it's Catherine here, and I'll be trying to sing, hum, or whistle a song in front of a player. If that player sings, hums, or whistles, you've got them. So we'll try.
Hey, it's Bronson, and I've got to try and get somebody got by getting a player to compliment my hair. Shouldn't be too hard. I've been growing it out for a while now for the audio listener. Okay, so a couple of episodes ago, we talked about a game, Titanic, and this, had me thinking about what that meant for you, in the way that you played this game like a dollhouse, I think you referred to it as.
Yes, indeed. I believe that was the quote.
Yeah.
Will you be my boyfriend?
Verbatim. That was perfect.
Buckworthy!
Oh, don't get me started on Buckworthy.
It had me thinking about my own childhood dollhouse board game, Bionicle adventure game, Quest for Makuta. It was a really interesting game, really, for me, a Crunchy Euro game before I even knew what a Crunchy Euro game is. It's not really, but I was a kid, so be kind.
First game.
First game. And yeah. So this game was gifted to me by my parents. Shout out mum and dad. I was a big fan of Bionicle. So it was like, why wouldn't we get this Bionicle board game?
For young Bronny.
Young Bronny loves a board game. He's getting into Cluedo. He's getting into Monopoly. Why not? Let's get him into Bionicle Quest. None of my family or myself really understood how to play this game for so long.
Let's talk. Okay, mechanics.
Let's talk mechanics. This is a procedurally generated board game.
Oh.
Hey, for the audio listener, everybody looked in awe and astonishment at me, and they were like, wow, this is someone who can handle board games.
But also, I think there was significant disbelief in a lot of those eyebrows as well.
We choose to see what we choose.
That cannot be corroborated.
Regardless, it is a procedurally generated board game. There are these hexagonal tiles that interlock with each other. You have a starting tile, which is like your home base, and it's a very chill sort of space. On this, you and the other players who are competing to save Matanui, the island at which there's...
Moana?
I was going to say, I've heard that in a kid's film recently.
I'm Moana from Motunui.
Yeah.
Similarly to Titanic, this game, broadly and bigger than the game, Bionicle as a franchise was somewhat challenged for its cultural appropriation.
Was it really? Aren't they robots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can still, just because you're a robot doesn't mean you can't be racist. I'm trying to keep it on track and it's not working.
Well, speaking of keeping things on track, that's what this game is meant to do. You are moving
Segue.
around a map that is procedurally generated as you explore it. So once you go to the end of the tile, you then grab the next tile, which is drawn upside down, and then you connect it. You're kind of building the island as you play until you reach the final tile, which could really be anywhere in a stack. And this is where Makuta, the villain, resides. You must face and fight, and so there's this combat where you're rolling a dice. And hey, again, speaking to the crunch of this game, is that like a D12 in it?
Oh, ahead of its time.
Well, I mean,
What about
I feel like Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah,
probably
from the
came out
70s.
before it.
I meant for like
1977 was it? Yeah, it's only
Yeah.
24 years.
I meant
But-
for like contemporary family board games.
for me, in my time, it was ahead. In
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I didn't,
Yeah.
I couldn't fathom this like 3-dimensional polyhedron,
Yeah, I still-
decahedron. What is this?
Still can't count that high.
So this is very much speaking to my understanding of Doll's House. I'm just sort of thinking, who is Matuka to you?
Makuta.
Makuta. What's his face?
Well, what's his face indeed?
Oh,
Because
okay.
Makuta is, I believe, faceless and kind of like a shadow being. I'm deep into that bionicle lore, yo.
As you should be. Honestly, go off.
Yeah. Thank you. Who is Makuta for me? I suppose Makuta are the challenges that we face, you know, in our childhood. Homework, bullies, not being allowed to
Yeah.
play this obscenely complicated board game with my family because nobody got it.
The way I'm picturing it, it kind
Yeah.
of sounds like the Fallout board game, which also like isn't amazing, but has that kind of exploration tile flipping mechanic, and you're walking around the board, you're rolling dice to attack things.
Yeah. And so if you replace that with like wacky plastic formed figurines,
Yeah, there's wacky figurines in the Fallout games. Maybe they're the same. Maybe that's the successor.
maybe.
Fallout's a reskin of this one. That's all
Yeah.
it is.
Hot take: Fallout is a spiritual successor to Bionicle.
Is the adult Bionicle.
Yeah.
It was called here first at the board crew.
Yeah, FBI's getting real sus now.
By the way, just to complete a story, I did keep this game with me for such a long time. Like it moved out with me. I took it with me into adulthood. I played it with some friends. Shout out Tom and Amy. It was a crap game.
Oh yeah.
But we played it and we finished it. Yeah, the balance
done.
is so whack.
With the right rules?
Yeah, with the right rules. Okay. Aside from it took us a good couple hours to honestly understand the rules. The balance of the game is absurd. The dice rolls you need to hit a success can range from like a 2 to a 20, and you only start with a D6. So it's like, sucks for you if you got the wrong one. And then you got to start at the beginning, and it's oh my goodness.
Wow.
At that final boss, the dice check that you need to succeed depends on which side of the board you come at the final boss.
So like on his tile when you put it down?
Yeah. But you know what? Like, despite all of this, and I really do feel like this board game in particular shaped me and the kind of board games I like. For as crap a game as it was an experience.
It built resilience.
Yeah. And
I imagine it builds, capacity to delay gratification, and I imagine you're a very patient man.
well, yeah, if
Totally on top of your impulses.
if you're gonna hold on to a game for a good 20 years.
Yeah.
Until you finally play it. And
That's commitment to the cause.
yeah.
Okay.
Nice work.
I think about who I was
Like-
back then, like a young lad, shorter hair,
Higher pitch voice.
yeah.
Shorter. So tell me, who is this game for as an adult, like for the audience?
Yeah. This is for the nostalgia, I think. This
Yeah.
game is for someone who has a play area bigger than a 4-seater table.
We're thinking floor. Are we
Floor.
thinking floor?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I
And
suppose
no arthritis.
Yeah, it's for an adult who grew up in a time to appreciate the magnificence that Bionicle was,
Yeah.
to enjoy that nostalgia, but then also has the capacity to cross their legs and play a board game.
It's a rapidly shrinking demographic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of one. But yeah, I think if you have fond memories of Lego and you just want to be like chilling with your Bionicle crew.
Was this a standalone thing you were saying about this lore?
Oh,
Was
yeah.
this a book series or something?
No, so
Wasn't
this
there a
was...
TV series?
Bionicles?
Well,
No.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the Lego.
Yeah, the toys.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
So this was a toy that
Yeah,
was
got
part
it.
of...
I am on that. I am on that train with you now. Yeah, got it. The
was-
Lego Bionicles, a tie-in board game. Got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's Bionicle. What was it? The quest for
The Quest for Makuta.
Makuta. Beautiful.
Not the only Bionicle board game.
Oh, wow.
Did you own the other one?
Nah.
Yeah, so I'm reviewing Apples to Apples. So basically, do you guys remember those excursions you'd go on overnight?
Yep.
So we did School Spectacular one year. So the segment of the choir that my year group was in, and it's just such a 14-year-old thing to do, to bring Cards Against Humanity to come on your school camp with you.
You would have to be the coolest kid.
Oh, absolutely.
Teachers hated her because there's one simple trick.
You know what?
One simple
I bet you
game.
the teachers had confused a game like Cards Against Humanity just so they can play it.
Possibly. Well, look. But anyway, so if you played Cards Against Humanity, you have played the version of Cards Against Humanity that the teacher would swap out to go in.
Yeah, okay.
Like, mechanically speaking, it's pretty simple. You kind of can do various variations of it, and there's varying house rules, like who gets to be the judge, who gets to do this, is it rotated, or do you have to win a certain amount? But anyway, if you've played Cards Against Humanity, you know Apples to Apples, except Apples to Apples is the version that you're allowed to take to visit your grandma with.
It sounds like Apples to Apples is like the VHS of Shrek that the teachers brought on the bus trip to the excursion.
Yeah.
But they fast forward through all the naughty bits and the swear words.
Yeah,
so you never
that's like
find out what
half
the
of it.
name of that king is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
What naughty bits?
but Apples to Apples, you can go crude with.
You can.
It
Yeah.
gives you the freedom and the flexibility to kind of
Make it your own
Make it
for
your
your
own.
crowd.
as opposed to Cards Against Humanity, which is kind of like we've got one joke and you're going to keep laughing to the same joke.
How do you like them apples?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would certainly, having played Apples to Apples
Yep.
and with Catherine at a board game night, I certainly wouldn't say it's easier than Cards Against Humanity.
No. So it's about the same level of complexity. It's just, your grandma won't cry.
I would say more so, because to be truly funny, to get the points with a game like Apples to Apples requires timing, requires a level of
Insight into the judge.
Yeah.
Because there are all these cards interspersed. Something that's mine, like my love life or my dreams, my bank account. And so you could put down curious, and the judge may or may not get the joke you're trying to make if you put down my bank account. Are you saying I'm poor? Or
I've just met you. Yeah. Arguments. Here's my number, so call me today.
Motor Finance Wizard says yes.
Oh.
Wizard.
Anyone feel like playing Bionicle right now?
Nope.
I'll play the reskin.
Yeah, you kind of have to make your own fun. So it's kind of one of those things where if you play with a boring group of people, it's not fun. And there's a lot of Americanisms I find in it. So it's not that it's a bad thing.
More like American pop references.
Yeah,
that
like
are slightly
George Bush
dated
Senior.
now, but that's kind of the price you pay, I guess. If you really wanted to, you could take those cards out and you've still got more than enough kind
That's
of
so
options.
True. That's so true. In fact, I would say that there's too many cards for the box that I have. So I don't know. I think I've got a party pack or something. But yeah, I just am annoyed by the way that it's also slippery on the inside.
Sorry? Nah, let her cook. I get this. I do.
No, just
There's
it's
no
it's all made
compartments,
of
you mean?
No, there are compartments. It's just that it's also glossy and the stacks of the most deranged. No, it's not that. Yeah, but anyway, No, it like literally it's slippery inside, and so you'll put it in the compartments, but there's too many cards for the compartments.
Right.
You said doesn't work with boring people, but with the right people.
Yeah, absolutely. Or even people that you just know.
Would you recommend it?
So much. I've recommended it for such a long time.
Too late now.
It's been
Come back
a
down.
long time,
Without you, my friend,
and I'll tell you tomorrow.
I'm gonna
I'll see you again.
Is that it?
I'm gonna do
Gotcha, Tony.
yeah.
Don't swear.
I got you.
No, you said it.
versus Sonic Spider-Man, get another player to correct you.
Boom.
I got you. I got you.
You got me, yeah.
Start to sing, hum, or whistle a song in front of a player. If that player sings or hums and whistles it, you've got them.
I hummed it. Nice. 2
Double
out.
got.
Oh, double got. That was
Double
nice.
got. Too far.
The amount of times I kept singing.
No,
I was like, someone correct me.
I totally. What was it? It was the budget "Call Me Maybe," the
Call me,
Pepsi
call me
version
today. I
of.
was like, that's not funny. I'm just trying to change the name of the song.
I just thought you were bad at singing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You tried to reference the ad. I'm like, okay.
No.
Let him go. I wanted
Anyway.
to just get you comfortable with singing first.
Nice. True. You were building me up.
Anyway, apples to apples.
Dust to dust.
Yes.
So it's not often that a board game will remind you of a rice cracker or a jingle from the 2000s, but I think I found it in the board game I'm reviewing today. Oh, Bronson. Yes, you get your hand up.
I got it.
What is it? I did mention the game at the start of the episode.
Sagrada.
Yes, it is Sagrada. I was actually going to try and use that as my got thing as well, but never mind. Sagrada is also obviously Spanish for sacred, and you know the Sagrada Familia in
Sabrina
Spain.
Carpenter.
Where you are basically creating stained window glasses.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's published by Floodgate Games, and it is designed by Adrian Adamescu and Daryl Andrews. And they've created this really beautiful game of, yeah, like I said, you're creating stained glass windows. So you can already imagine, you know, if you've been to a church or where else would you see stained glass windows? But either way.
Like a really rich school, probably.
Yeah, there you go.
Sometimes old libraries or museums.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So if you've been in
Probably
any
at
of those,
like Shore or Skeggs or something.
you've seen them.
Stained glass shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stained glass shop, lead lighting
Oh yeah,
business.
there is the lead light shop in town.
Is it always religiously coded, or can you just pretend it's a
You
library?
don't have to put any denomination on it if you don't want to. I
Okay,
didn't when
like
I
an
was playing it.
interfaith sake.
Oh, actually, no, I was saying some mean things to it when I was playing it, but only because
Only
it
on the
was
second
frustrating
time.
on the second game. Yeah. So I played this game with Tony and a couple of other people. It is actually Tony's game. I've made it my quest to work through Tony's backlog of games. That is consent. So if he brings a board game over, I'm going to review him from now on.
So your next review is Friday then, yeah?
I don't know what that game is. I'm still working on Tuesday.
What's Friday? I don't know
Yeah,
what
exactly.
that is.
So the
Monday,
way
I could wait till
the way it
Tuesday.
works is everyone chooses a panel at the start, and then you roll some dice, and these dice are communal. Everyone gets to use these dice. They're all multiple colors: red, green, purple, blue, yellow. And what you do is you place them on the board from a particular sort of frame, or like the side or the top of the frame, and you build out your glass from there. And what's interesting about it is the way you score points, similar to that game I played a few months ago, Sprawlopolis, where you have objectives. So it could be if you're placing a dice, make sure or roll of dice has to be all different numbers, so you can't have repeating numbers. Maybe a roll is you have to have different colors, or maybe you have to have the same colors and things like that. So lots of objectives, and that ties in the strategy as well of making it, well, more than just literally putting pretty colored dice onto a panel. And
Pretty coloured dice. So
Yeah.
this is not like
they're like translucent.
right.
Yeah.
See, intrigue peaked. Now it's dice and not like an actual
No.
shapes or bits.
No.
I don't know.
So the communal dice, you choose which is going to be right for you. So also on the panel, just to add to that extra layer of depth, is there are already specific dice plates, I guess you'd say, on the panel, and you have to put that number there. So let's say there's a 5, you have to put a 5 there. There is a tricky thing because you cannot place a color or a number of the same variant next to it, like immediately adjacent to it. So that's
Orthogonally or diagonally as well?
diagonally is fine. And therein lies the strategy of, at the start, Tony, you might agree to this, it feels so easy. Like you're just placing dice and you go, yeah, I've got this. Easy game.
Yeah. He was like, oh, whatever. I'll start here. Yeah, 5 red there. What's that? That's not going to hurt me. And by the end of it, you're like, oh, that 1 5 red I made 20 turns ago is killing me now.
Yeah, exactly. Your past decisions come back to haunt you in the latter half of the game. And it's just lovely because by the end of it, you've created, hopefully, this beautiful panel of just colourful dice. And it looks like a stained glass window. And it's really pretty. And everyone's just quite different and diverse. So those objectives I was talking about with having a row or a column of differing numbers or having the same numbers or only have colours that are diagonal, things like that, they're your public goals. And then you also have a secret goal, just an additional incentive to score more points that no one else knows about. And they're always just add the value of a particular color. So, for example, if I put a buttload of purple dice out and they're ranging from 1 to 5, I would add, or 1 to 6, I would add up all those values, and that's my additional points. And that's a fun part, but it was a bit of a tell when Tony was playing, and he grabbed a panel that had, hey, you have to place a lot of purple dice on this panel, like required to place purple dice. And I was like, I wonder what secret objective color Tony has. So I kept taking the purple dice so he wouldn't. And then I was like, well, I don't want the purple dice because I don't have any use for them right now.
Choices matter, hey?
Yeah. And so there are also
ruined
abilities. You can pay for abilities. They're always random every game as well. You choose from 3 of them, and they're also public, but you have to pay for them with like 4 or 5. Oh, let me just back up. The difficulty of the panel, so how many things are required, makes you have more currency to spend on abilities. So the easier the board is for you, not much money. So you can't use much money on abilities. Harder it is, much more money. And the abilities can range from being able to move a dice anywhere you want to, as long as you abide by the restrictions. Some of them could be, hey, flip this one completely over. So it was a 1, now it's a 6. Oh, brilliant. I need a 6 to complete my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 row, or 1, 2, 3, 4 column. And yeah, things like that. So really fun abilities. It's a really engaging game. It's really beautiful. I don't think this has a colorblind accessibility option, which is a downset, but there is a Steam and an app game or version of it, and it does have a colorblind accessibility option, and it's just so fun to play. Once I played Sagrado with Tony, I actually went home and bought it on Steam. It was
really?
It was like $5, and I've played a few
Nice.
rounds since then. It is lovely. Another downside is I had no idea whose turn it was. I just got confused every time. I wasn't sure because the game works like this, or at least what I think it is. You start with one person and then it goes in a clockwise direction, and then the last person to have their turn has a second turn.
A snake draft.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
There you go.
So you go around one way and then you come back around.
Yes,
the,
and then you come
the other
back
way.
around. But
Like a snake.
everyone was like, is it my turn? No, you went 2 turns ago. That means you're last now. What? And there was a little bit of confusion there. But otherwise, we all had lots of fun. We played 2 rounds of it because I was just really enamored with it. First round, all had a great time. Yep, great, placing dice, all feeling nice. We decided to bump up the difficulty, or at least Tony and I did, and we hated the second round. We were grabbing the
We were
dice.
having fun, right? Yeah, it was fun.
Because you'd roll the dice, and let's say there's 4 people playing, and you're going to have 2 turns each. So there's 9 dice, one just a random that you don't choose. And if someone else takes the only dice that you needed to fill in that one gap, you are angry at them, and then you're angry at your board that you didn't think of it. And why didn't I 6 turns ago place this here and things like that? So Sagrada, exactly. But I still really recommend it. Still love it a lot. You know what? I might be wrong. There may be some colorblind accessibility. I just haven't seen it or figured it out, or maybe haven't read the manual properly. But it would be great if it did have that. That's its big downfall, I think.
How close an analog is the app and the game on Steam?
Oh, they're like the exact same. Yeah.
Noted.
It's brilliant. There's also like a campaign mode.
Oh,
So, yeah. But
No, but a solo variant there.
yeah, there is a solo variant,
course
so
there
that's
is.
why I was drawn to it.
Well, you're playing a game yourself. I mean,
Yes,
that's
yeah, but you can play it online. You can play the campaign. The campaign is just like a regular app game where it's like if you get third, you get 1 star. If you get second, you get 2 stars. And like Angry Birds, oh, you get 3 stars. Congratulations, you got them all if you come first.
I'm
So
on the global rank of
Yep.
platinum level 30.
yeah, so
Ultimate.
Really
Is that
enjoying
current
playing
Bronson, or-
No,
Oh,
it was a lie.
no.
It's very therapeutic
Judas.
as well. It's the therapeutic game to play. Like we were just quiet a lot when we were making our decisions until we got really angry in the second round. I was like, did you really have to take that one? That was the only one I could use. You had to take that one? You sure?
I literally-
All right, fine. I won't take that
I
one.
even said to you during one turn, there was like 4 dice to choose from. I'm like, I can pick any of these. Which one do you want? You're like, it doesn't matter. Just take whatever. And I took one. You went, that's the only one I needed. It's like, I gave you the
Well,
option.
I thought you were going to choose whichever one I wanted. Double bluff.
Sorry, I'm not a mean-spirited person.
And I'm not going for
when
that
I'm
double
playing
bluff.
Sagrada.
In the world of aesthetic and lush like tile builder games, Azul, Calico,
yeah.
Sagrada.
Similar mechanics to Azul, I guess.
I often wonder and you know have to weigh these decisions myself, having a board game shelf of limited space. What is the game of this genre that's going to make it? Is this like that game?
I prefer this to Azul.
Wow.
They are very similar in the same sense of like, well, do you think it's the same as Azul? Or like there's a similar aspect, a similar mechanic of laying things down with restrictions.
Yeah, it's similar in that, but they are different games. Like because the mechanics of how you're laying them is different. Like Azul, you take from that pile and you go, cool, all right, I want the red squares, all right, the rest go in the middle, and I'm putting it here to then move it across here. And with this one, it's I take and I immediately place. So it's that mechanic's different. Yeah, it's a tile laying. They're both tile laying games with a draft.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'd say they're different enough to be distinctive.
I'd say so. And that is Sagrada.
All right, for my next trick, I'm pulling out all the Wingspans and their expansions. So I'm reviewing Wingspan and all the expansions. That's European, Oceania, and Asia. So Wingspan is a engine builder. It's, I guess, a modern classic. It's very popular. You can get this in like Big W, regular department stores and the like. And I absolutely adore this game. And it's one of the few that my wife will play at the drop of a hat. I don't know if I've been forced to adore this game or not, but I absolutely love this game.
It is an adorable game.
Yeah, a lot of us on the pod have spoken about how much we enjoy this. The artwork's beautiful. There's a little bit of information on every single bird. Yeah, it's just a great, fun game.
Sounds
The
so
end.
educational. I love it.
It is, yeah, I guess.
But in a way that's like cool about being educational. Like I'm okay if you don't want to learn, that's fine.
This bird uses its beak to smash insects. Great, cool. Let's put it down.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thinking of Daybreak. Is it
I
like
haven't
Daybreak?
played Daybreak. I wasn't, so that's new on the market. I'm not hip with the kids.
Yeah, but he does have all the expansions.
Yeah.
so-
It does.
So, which, I mean, all the expansions, to be fair, so base game, just general birds across the planet. Basic quick rundown of the game. You draft a bunch of birds. You build this beautiful little bird feeder, which rolls your dice, which is just a great little mechanic.
That's so
which
fun.
Is, which is, here you go.
It is the best bit.
Here you go. You get a box. I'm like Oprah. You get a
We're all
box. You
passing
get a
around.
box.
We're
You
all
get a
passing around
box.
the
Everybody
expansion
gets a box.
boxes.
Wow. It's so pretty.
So,
I'm going to take this home and cherish it.
Thanks,
well,
Tony,
you could
for
actually,
donating us
out
your
of
games.
everyone who I gave a box to, Bronson got the Asia expansion, which is actually its own standalone you could play as because it has a duet mode and solo. Yeah.
Wow.
Either way, I'll get there.
We'll get there.
The elevator pitch of Wingspan is you're drafting birds and you're getting food to then play these birds on your board in 3 separate habitats. You've got the forest, you've got the grasslands, and you've got the wetlands. And each bird will tell you which area it can go to and a food cost of what it costs to go there. You need to get eggs to lay more birds in each area. And then as you lay birds in those areas, your engine then runs through the birds because they all have a little special ability. Some will happen straight away. Some happen on other people's turns. Some happen at the end of the game or between rounds. Each round you have specific scoring tiles, what you're trying to do. So get eggs in a certain type of nest, get birds in a certain type of habitat or whatnot. Yeah, you add up the points at the end and whoever wins, wins. And even if you don't win, which I don't a lot because for some reason my wife just kicks my butt in this game so often.
I saw in the notepad your Ant and Mel.
Yeah.
Ant was 89 and Mel was 73. I think you've won a
that
couple
was
of
early
times.
days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there are a couple of those in the game. They've got little scoring sheets. There's a couple of those scoring sheets on our fridge that tell me otherwise. So just every time I go to grab the milk to make a coffee in the morning, I'm like, got to beat her on Wingspan again.
Remember the time I got 109?
Yes, I do, honey.
And she uses Anthony when she said it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But I absolutely love this game.
What would you say is like the recommended size of people to play? Like player count?
So main box gives you 5 players. I would say 4 is probably the sweet spot for this game. European expansion just gives you more birds. Oceania expansion will give you birds and a new feeding type, nectar, because it's going with the Australian natives who eat nectar. And new boards. Asia expansion gives you more boards, more birds, and the ability to play with 6 or 7 players. I feel like if you're going to try and go that high, because it's then 2 people taking a turn each, just play a different game. Don't try and split it so it's 2 people taking a turn at a time. But yeah, I think 4 is the sweet spot. Otherwise, you're waiting too long to take your turn.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably a game that if you asked Jenny and I to play, we would politely ask what else is being played.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the exception to the rule.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
everyone loves Wingspan.
It's not my favorite, but I would play it at 3. No more.
What's
Like,
with that?
I'm not going to play it at
That's fine.
at 4
What don't you
or
like
5.
about it? You've played engine builders and you like engine builders, but this one
Yeah,
just
yeah.
doesn't stand out.
Wingspan's like an engine builder if a bird pooped it. Like it's,
Oh,
it's like, there's no engine in Wingspan.
Gateway entry level engine builder.
No, there's better gateway engine
No,
builders.
there's not.
Wingspan is beautiful,
Get Wingspan.
and the bird feeder is great. And I get why lots of people love it, but it's not for me, and it's not for Jenny, and there's a reason it's not on our shelves.
rude. That's all I can say.
Well,
I'm leaving.
I'm not coming to BangCon next year.
Have you played it, Catherine?
No, I haven't. And,
We're playing it this week.
I'll just leave it here in the room. It won't be here when I come here tomorrow.
This box
But-
is empty.
Yeah, because it's all inside those boxes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Tony brought all the boxes. One of them is empty.
Oh yeah, I didn't even say who this was published by. Sid Meier Games, Stanmeyer, Stonemeyer. Thank you.
Sid Meier made Civilization.
Right,
And The
that's
Sims.
right.
Equally crunchy in my eyes.
Yes.
The Sims
No.
2 is crunchy for me.
Yeah, Stonemeyer
Bionicle is
Games,
crunchy for me.
designed by Elizabeth Hargraves. Yeah, I really like it, even if Ben doesn't.
this looks very fun.
That's why I bought
think
everything
Ben is jealous
of my collection. I don't think so.
of the
Fun?
I mean, to be fair, he did talk about
Of birds?
Dominion in the last episode, the true deck builder and everything. So
Dominion's pretty fun.
yeah, but look at the plumage on this peacock on the Asia expansion.
the artwork is very pretty. It's not a crazy crunchy game or anything. That's why I think my wife and I play it, because we can kind of relax with it after a day with the kids and everything. And we have brought people in to play this who haven't played games before, and they've really enjoyed it, even if it
I'm
is.
so dialed in.
Catherine will play it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Asia one, if you are going to get that, it doesn't come with a bird feeder, even though it can play 2-player. There's a different yin-yang mechanic in it on a board. I'd say just buy the base game.
Okay.
You're going to enjoy it more.
But you don't get that
You
fantastic
don't get a peacock.
plumage.
Yeah, you don't get that plumage, but
Honestly, like it's showstopper. It's beautiful.
it is a very
I've been like
beautiful
growing
picture.
my hair out for like a year
It's that,
just to try and get that sort of magnificence, and it's
You could just go out to Abercrombie House and see the real ones.
that's true. I could.
You could also just dye your
Yeah,
hair
there's
green.
heaps of peacocks out there.
Should I dye my hair green?
Look, I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying you could.
I could.
That's a
okay.
choice.
But
And
it
you've
would-
mate the choice not to.
I have. I mean, yeah. I don't
Bronson the peacock.
know. It could make my hair better, I guess, but
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying that either. It's neither good nor bad. It just is.
my hair just is.
It's lovely. Your hair's lovely. There you go.
No!
Oh, God damn it, really?
That was a bit weird. Suckers.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Yeah. Bronson, I hate you now.
Yeah,
Tony's full of the two.
fair
Yeah,
enough.
because I'm too nice a guy.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, so that's Wingspan.
Nice guy
I just
finish.
got from Bronson.
Yes.
Final game that we're looking at is Zaya, Legends of a Drift System. This is a space sandbox game. So Pretty much a game where you take a spaceship. The idea is you're this little space captain. You've got your very first ship and you're sailing out into the verse and you're going to make your name for yourself. The winner is the person who gets the most fame. And you can do that in lots of different ways. So you can do that by exploration. You can do that by trading. You can do that by shooting down other players. You can do that by collecting bounties on other players after they've done illegal things, or you can do that by doing missions. You can deck out your ship in whatever way you want. You can put like lots of engines on it so you can go really fast. You can put lots of shields on it so you can like
The
defend
kind of
yourself.
engine builder that Ben's about.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm about it too. I love this game.
Yeah. You can put like lasers or missiles. You can just bulk up on shields, or you put almost no equipment on it. So you got tons of room for cargo. So you can just haul stuff between, various planets.
Yes, I love having a moving cupboard.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there is a lot of fun
slow
being
moving
the
cupboard as well. It's
Yeah.
Does it
dragging
move?
its way across
Yeah,
the space.
yeah, just like chugging along.
How else are you going to get to Narnia? Oh, the wardrobe.
Oh.
That's
That's a cupboard. I would say all wardrobes are cupboards, but
no,
not
they're
all
not.
cupboards.
As a cabinet maker, I can confirm that's not.
And are all hot dog sandwiches.
Heroes of a drift system.
Yeah, because you don't know the extent of the whole universe. You're just playing around in a puddle of the universe.
I mean, there is one thing I know that is an absolute truth within the universe.
Yeah, that's Flip 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The greatest card game of all time.
Yeah.
Well,
Across
look.
all multiverses.
Yeah.
We
Catherine confirmed it last time. In Zaya, you're going to do all these things, collecting credits, and at some point you might upgrade your ship. You get to change into a new style of ship, and then you get to keep some of the characteristics of your older ship. So you build this journey as you're going along. I really like it because you can kind of just do whatever you want. You can be like, I'm just going to play like an economic trading game, shuttle things back and forth and find the most efficient routes. Or I'm going to do all these missions and help people out over the galaxy, taking them to see their long lost grandmother or helping a planet with a quarantine problem. Or you could choose to go down the really illegal route where you're just, I'm going to be shooting down all the merchants and stealing their stuff and avoiding the cops.
Yeah, the space cops, yeah.
Yeah, because there are space cops that are flying around that are non-players. There's also space pirates that are flying around, and there's space merchants that are moving around. So the universe is kind of alive, and if you play with the expansion, there's also comets and meteorites that whiz round and a whole heap of cool stuff. It's just interesting when you play with a larger group of players. Everyone's kind of doing their own thing. Sometimes it can lead to really desperate situations. Repeatedly in games, I've seen where someone's tried to like shoot someone and they've got them down to like just a couple of hit points, but now they've got no weapons left. So then this cry of, okay, well, ramming speed, charge their ship at full speed at the other ship, hoping to like take them out. So you can just have really...
in space.
Yeah, there's no rules in space.
Yeah, but
so-
there are space cops. Like, by
Yeah.
definition, there are rules in space.
Yeah, but they're from the planets. I mean, in the vastness of space.
The law, not
You
the
can,
rules.
Yeah.
you can,
No
you
one
can
can hear
run
you
away
scream.
from the
Sorry.
space cops if you want.
You can run away from the actual cops if you want. It doesn't mean you're not breaking the rules.
TBC does not recommend running away from the actual cops. The downside to Zaya is it does take a while. This is not kind of a game that we're ever going to bust out on a Friday night because it's kind of a 4-hour, maybe 5-hour
Saturday
sort of-
session.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
Saturday
wow.
session
Or
kind
you're
of thing.
busting it out right at the start of the night.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
anyone want to play next week?
You
Okay,
are
I'm gonna have it
yeah,
ready to go.
telegraphing to the board game
Yeah.
night that you go to, hey, we are playing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
It's-
not
like
turn up
Eclipse.
without having at least seen a tutorial.
Yeah.
No, the rules are super simple.
Oh, okay.
Like, you
Yeah,
can
no,
you
yeah,
can
that's
explain the rules probably in like 10, 15 minutes.
So-
like I'm not talking like
Can you understand
Titanic
the
or
rules in that
Bionicle.
time?
Hey,
Simple.
Bionicle
Yes.
was not a simple game. We covered this. But
Like-
easy teach.
Yeah, easy teach. It's really easy to play. It's just you can play shorter games of it. You can do like a very limited amount of fame where you'll get a game done in an hour. But where Zaya really shines is letting people like develop their story, customize their ship, buy new ships, do explore new systems, have this kind of history that you're kind of getting into, and the LARP.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was just about
like-
to ask.
yeah.
Oh, is this a LARPing
So
game?
it's like, like after every game of Zaya, the players are going to be like talking about, remember that time that Tony's like, I'm going to try mining this asteroid. And there's a risk when you mine an asteroid that you might fly into the asteroid.
Just like
and
real
Tony's
life.
like, one more, I can do this. And then bam, asteroid into the side.
And so is there always that push your luck? Or is that only if you're playing in that way?
You can choose not to ever push your luck. I'm going to play it safe and steady. I'm never going to do anything illegal. I'm going to take the safe route around the galaxy, never flying through any nebula or asteroid fields or, black holes or any of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And that might work for you.
Like a real Bob Ross sort of strategy to fame.
Yeah. Or you can be like, no, I'm living on the edge.
Yeah.
Like I'm going for it.
RDJ, pre-Avengers, yo.
Here's an example of what you can do. So if you fly to the edge of the known universe, you can stop, take a full extra part of your turn. So you've got 4 actions per turn. You can stop, take a whole extra action of your turn to scan the next sector of space so that you can see what's in it. That's expensive. You only get 4 actions per turn. You could spend or what you could do is what's called a blind jump, where you just keep flying and you flip over the tile and find out what you flew into.
Is what it is.
You could fly into the middle of the sun, and in which case you die immediately.
Yeah, okay.
Which I did.
Like, going for it.
Yeah.
Damn it! It covers the whole tile.
Yeah.
Like, there's
Yeah.
How bad could it be?
Yeah.
Flying into the sun.
Yeah.
What are
Yeah.
the odds?
Well, it's like there's only one tile out of the 20 or 30 tiles. It's the sun. But
I
having
wasn't
said
aware
that,
of these odds at the time.
yeah.
So never tell me the odds.
Yeah. Having said that, though, there's lots of other things you could fly into that you might not lead to instant death, but maybe you didn't really want to fly into that.
Really, anything in space you wouldn't want to fly into, I imagine.
Yeah, generally. Last game we played, we were playing with events, so various events were happening in space. And towards the end of the game, one of the events was Amazing Dread Pirate Ship came out, which was like a fully decked out ship and started chasing after everyone, but it was worth tons of fame points for taking it down. Michael, one of our players, just went for it, came at it. If he had won it, killed it, he would have won by like 4 fame points more than what he needed.
Is that a lot?
That's a lot because 20 is the maximum you can play to.
Okay.
He would have got to 24 in his turn, which is just insane. He got the pirate ship down to 1 hit point by the end of his turn. He just didn't quite manage it. And so then the next player came in and just finished off that like weakened pirate and finished off Michael for good measure. They're like shot it both
Man, I
down.
want
Just boom, boom.
names.
That's space fame for you.
So we've talked about 5 games tonight, and as usual, we talk about what game would someone like to play, but it is a 1-year anniversary. So my question is, what game out of all of the games that we've reviewed over the whole year would you like to play?
Nightmare.
Awesome.
Get the VHS out.
I'm actually about to catch up with the people who I gifted that game to. So
Really nice.
yeah.
Where is your VHS? Do you have one? You have to go and buy one, or is it on DVD? Can you watch it on YouTube?
You can watch it on
thank
YouTube.
goodness.
So Nightmare.
Okay, so we got 2 votes for Nightmare, which was not what I was guessing.
I suppose I'll play it with Deke Daniel Dynamite.
Okay.
Thank you. As my friends call me.
Cool.
But I wouldn't say it's my game.
Right. Okay.
I'll
Your
let
choice.
Catherine come in though.
To the game of Nightmare, or is it my turn?
It's
Your
your turn.
turn.
Yeah, but
anything
you
that's
can,
been
yeah,
reviewed.
yeah.
Oh, look, I feel like tonight was a really cracking night
Yeah.
for reviews. I can't say I'm going to do Bionicle, sorry.
Shots fired.
For the audio listener, I'm really dejected and sad.
Wingspan, I want to have a go at that tomorrow.
Okay.
Nice.
Honourable mention to Sagradia.
Sagrada.
I'm going home and setting myself a reminder on my phone to check it out on Steam.
Yeah, wish list it.
Wishlist it.
Tony.
Everything we've ever reviewed so far. Daybreak.
Yeah!
I'm just like, everything that we've spoken about that I haven't played, that's the one that I've wanted to play the most.
It's been hyped by this.
I've watched it be played next to me and been like, I'm playing my game. What are they doing over there on Daybreak? Oh no, I got to play my. What are they doing on Daybreak? Like it's just So that's a game I really want to play. How about you, Bronny?
So many to choose from. I am going to a deep cut for my day ones, Skull.
Oh, that was your first one, wasn't it?
It was the first game I reviewed for the pod, and I'm feeling like, that we've got 5 people, which is a really good amount of people to be playing with a game like that. I don't know if I said that that's a good amount of people to be playing with a game like that, but I believe it now in this moment.
Feels right.
Feels right.
You can update your review. That's fine.
Yeah.
Future Ben is not editing.
No, I mean, like this is an update right now. Like,
yeah. But right now, I'm feeling Skull, just something chill, something fun, a good way to celebrate 1 year of reviewing board games and catching up with y'all.
Ben.
Ben.
It's Benny.
Ben, you started it. You got us together.
Gonna finish it.
There have been so many great games that we've talked about over this year, and probably many great games to come, and probably some really terrible games.
You know it.
I think I'd go Spirit Island. I do love a game of Spirit.
I really thought it would be a Wingspan.
River surges in sunlight.
At the moment, I'm on a kick of Dances with Earthquakes or whatever it's called. I suck at it, and I'm just trying to get better. So, apparently, Ben is a bad dancer, but you didn't need Spirit Island to tell you that.
The guy who doesn't like sports.
Hey, just before the end of the episode, we wanted to say a big shout out to someone who's pretty amazing and done something fantastic for us. Tony, take it away. What's happened?
Yeah, our friends up at GC Signs in Queensland, GC Signs and Plastic, have made our first gift. They've made us a board crew sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, check over to our socials for a photo of it. Shout out to Steve at GC Signs. Thank you so much, mate. Love your work.
It's incredibly generous. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. And it kind of helps our podcast grow, and we get to feel a little bit more professional now. So now we just need to find space to hang it. It is huge. Yeah, check it out on the Facebook page. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, mate.
Thanks so much. Love your work, GC Signs.
Thanks so much for joining us, especially for this 1 year special. We look forward to getting bored with you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
This has been the Board Crew, and thank you so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate it. Hey, if there's a board game that you really want us to review, feel free to recommend it to us. Roll over to our socials, leave us a review, continue the conversation, and just have a bit of fun with us. We'll see you next time.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's cool what he's done.
First spawn, we sold out.
No, not sponsor. It was a gift, but either way. Like,
Sponsor.
it's
It's a
a
sponsor now.
Sponsored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out, Ben.
This episode has been sponsored.
Can we
by
say
GC
we haven't
Signs.
sold out yet, and then you go, oh.
But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
just so that.
Nice. Well, that's the 1 year episode recorded.
Yeah.